4:30 to 7. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, a man accused of trying to set at least 7 homes on fire in the Indianapolis area. The surveillance video that shows the suspect, police want your help identifying. But first, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. We've already seen a round of heavy rain and strong storms. You can see some of the evidence, trees down across the area, and we know thousands of IPL and Duke customers are without power right now at this hour. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Nicole Griffin here with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounds. Kyle, the day took such a turn. It was beautiful, and then those storms moved in.
Yeah, and they were pretty quick-moving storms. The good news is that round is out of here, and the thunderstorm watch that was in effect has been canceled.
Good.
So we don't have that, but we may have some additional wet weather to get through. We'll talk more about that. You can see, though, we had 11 reports of some wind damage with those storms as they move through. We showed you off the top of the show there, primarily some tree damage and some power outages. Here we can see that things are quieting down. There's one isolated thunderstorm, though, about to move back into the Terre Haute area. This is the complex of thunderstorms, though, that was responsible for the damage earlier this afternoon. Right now, though, just some rain around Muncie and into Richmond. You can see the heavier rain moving out of the Portland area, and then we've got some moderate rainfall from Brookville back through the Greensburg area and to North Vernon. That's going to continue to move out, but again, we've got some isolated showers and downpours in Illinois. We'll be watching for you this evening, but I would say that it is a very low severe weather threat for us. By 7:30 tonight, you see a few more of those thunderstorms moving back in here, and into 9 o'clock, we'll still have some downpours we'll be dealing with before we quiet things down during the overnight. But just a reminder, make sure you got that Storm Shield app. It is free for your mobile device there in case we do have any additional alerts this evening.
Kyle, thank you. Right now, Metro Police are looking for a man who tried to set fire to 7 different homes in close proximity on the south side. Surveillance video that you see right here captures him in action. RTV6's Derek Thomas reports if you know who he is, please contact police.
This is surveillance video of a man who the victims think set the fires. At this point, he turns and looks at the camera. Christine Bullock lives in the 1600 block of Lawrence Avenue. She and her husband were not at home when the fires started.
My husband and I were actually out of town for the weekend. We got woken up by our cell phones going off, and our daughter calling us frantically saying that somebody had tried to set our house and our cars on fire.
How upsetting was this?
Very upsetting when you're away and your kids are calling you on the phone saying that somebody's tried to burn your house down.
A car in the driveway was destroyed by the fire. The suspect tried to set a fire in the back of Christine's house and on the front porch. The suspect was very busy and committed. He set fire to 7 different properties in the neighborhood. The surveillance cameras that caught some of the suspect's activities belonged to Marvin Silva. He talked about how a potential disaster was averted.
He wasn't trying to do just one home, obviously, because of everything that we found in the different properties. I think his intent was to have one big blaze going at the same time in different areas. To cause more harm, to make it more chaotic for the fire department, I don't know. But he definitely was trying to do something big. This was not small.
Police arrived at the scene. You could see at least one officer on the surveillance video. They pursued a suspect, but he got away. This could have been so much worse. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Derek, thank you. If you recognize the man on the surveillance cameras, you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 317-262-TIPS. Tonight, deputies in Tippecanoe County need help locating a man who's accused of abducting a woman after she pulled over with a flat tire. Investigators with the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office say the suspect, this is him on your screen, his name is Paul Etter. Deputies say the abduction happened around 5 o'clock Saturday night. The woman says she got a flat tire in the east central part of Tippecanoe County and was taken against her will to another location for several hours. She was eventually released, and investigators say Etter does have a gun and should be considered dangerous. Call the sheriff's office if you have any information about where he is tonight. At least one person is dead and as many as 10 people are injured after a shooting this morning in South Bend. Police were called to Kelly's Pub on East Mishawaka Avenue around 2 a.m. Homicide investigators say Brandon Williams of Michigan was killed in the shooting. 5 people are in stable condition and 5 others have been treated and released from the hospital. Police have not yet released what led up to this shooting, but they did say at the time shots were fired, at least 50 people were outside of the bar in the parking lot. Tonight, the assistant police chief of a Western Indiana Police Department is facing charges for driving under the influence. Indiana State Police say 43-year-old Dennis Archer of Brazil was pulled over Saturday morning for unsafe lane movement. He is facing preliminary charge of operating a vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 and operating a vehicle while intoxicated. The police chief says he is aware of the arrest but does not have any details and has declined to comment on this case. Tonight, police need help finding the driver involved in a deadly hit-and-run crash that happened along I-465 this morning. State police say a vehicle similar to this one you see on your screen right now, a Kia Soul with heavy front-end damage, hit a man who was walking across the exit ramp at I-465 and Harding Street. The driver was seen speeding away from that scene. State police say the victim was walking to a nearby restaurant to get a ride after the car he was involved in a crash. Anyone with information about the driver or this vehicle is asked to call state police. Brown County State Park will reopen tomorrow, but only for activities like sightseeing and fishing. The campgrounds, cabins, and Abe Martin Lodge will still be closed through Monday. All pools, restrooms, and drinking fountains are closed as well. The Department of Natural Resources says the amount of sediment in Lake Ogle, the park's water supply, is still too high to allow production of potable water. A portable pretreatment unit is in place right now, and it is working to remove sediment before water enters the treatment plant. Closures beyond tomorrow will be evaluated as officials watch lake conditions, rainfall, and test results. In less than a week, the majority of Democratic hopefuls in the 2020 race for president will head to Miami for their first debate. But before they take that stage, nearly all of the candidates in that very crowded field descended on South Carolina. ABC's Rachel Scott reports some are confronting the first major challenges of their campaigns.
A big political weekend in South Carolina, and its importance as a key early primary state not lost on the growing field of Democratic rivals hoping to take down President Trump.
We won't just beat Donald Trump, but we will make it to the mountaintop.
Those candidates fired up over the president's call for mass deportations.
They came into our country illegally, and we're taking them out legally.
The operation targeting more than 2,000 undocumented immigrants living in as many as 10 major U.S. cities. Yesterday, the president calling off those raids via a tweet, delaying them, he wrote, for 2 weeks.
For many Latino families, there is nothing this president will not do to break up your family.
Some candidates also calling attention to what they see as a troubling pattern.
He said over Twitter that he called off a strike on Iran 10 minutes before it was supposed to happen, that at the last minute he called off ICE raids across the country. This is bull. This is his bull politics.
Making a pitch to black voters there, Joe Biden referencing his old boss to the crowd's delight.
Barack Obama they watched and they emulated. They wanted to be like him.
As rivals took the opportunity to undercut the former vice president, who's drawn fire over recent remarks about working with long-dead segregationist senators, that criticism carrying over to today.
Praising and coddling individuals who made it their life works and built their reputation off of segregation of the races in the United States. That's a problem.
The party faithful may be able to look past that.
I think Biden is our best chance.
Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Alexander Rossi has won today's IndyCar race at Road America in Wisconsin. He took the lead in the first turn on the first lap, then drove away from the rest of the field. Rossi led 54 of 55 laps, only relinquishing the lead when he made pit stops. RTV6 sports director Dave First spoke with the winner.
Look who's in victory lane. It's long overdue, although he won one earlier this year. He's been chomping at the bit, trying to get around those Penske's. It wasn't a Penske, it was kind of a Honda in her to work around him on that opening lap. How crucial to this win was that, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was important. I mean, we've seen this year how big of a factor clean air plays and being able to manage the pace and your tires and everything when you're out front. So, we knew we had a strong race car, and when I was able to get the run on him into one, it was like, all right, it's time to make something happen. happen here, and we were able to. And from there, it was just about managing the race. I mean, the Firestone alternate tires definitely were weaker than the primaries, but everyone had to run them at one point. So it was a great result for the 27 team, and really happy for these guys behind me.
You've had a funny spring. You got the win, obviously, at Long Beach, but then you come back, a bunch of second-place finishes, which are great and everything, but it doesn't help the points championship. Now this certainly does that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want to ever complain about second places too much, but the thing that was hurting was the guys we were chasing the championship were the ones beating us. So we needed to beat them and beat them in a strong fashion, and it's really cool we were able to do that today.
Is this the start of the championship run for you think?
Certainly hope so. I mean, there's a lot of races to go, a lot of variables, but this team is continuing to develop and get better each and every weekend. So I think we definitely have something here for the second half of the season.
Big picture, you've won some pretty cool tracks. Indy, Watkins Glen, Long Beach, Road Americas. That's pretty cool,
It's cool, man. This place has not been kind to us in my first 3 years in IndyCar, so it's great to be able to come here and get that monkey off our back, and huge thanks to the whole team, really.
And it was a 27-second win for the 27 car. That's neat how that kind of worked out, but he gets it done. 7-point lead now heading into Toronto behind Joseph Newgarden.
Dave, thank you. As for the other top finishers, Will Power came in second. Joseph Newgarden finished third, followed by Graham Rahal and Scott Dixon. Coming up, a mystery gripping the world of horse racing. 30 horses have died this season at one racetrack. We'll have details as officials try to figure out what's going on. Kyle.
And we're saying so long to one round of wet weather as it pushes into Ohio, but we still have some additional downpours we're going to be tracking this evening when we'll finally break the soggy pattern and the heat will build. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A Hall of Fame trainer is banned from Santa Anita Park in California. This after a fourth horse from his stable died there. It's the 13th death overall at that track since the racing season began last December. And today that season is ending. ABC's Will Reeve reports.
Another tragedy at Santa Anita Park. A 4-year-old gelding trained by Jerry Hollendorfer injured while exercising on the track, then euthanized. The Hall of Famer recently losing 3 other horses at Santa Anita this season. Hollendorfer banned by track owners who say he is no longer welcome to stable, race, or train his horses at any of our facilities. Yesterday's death, the 30th since the track's racing season began, December 26th.
You could lose 10 for no given reason, and then you may have a law where you don't lose any for 6 months. So are we having just a really bad rash of luck?
This spate of deaths garnering national attention, some calling for an end to racing at the park.
We are tired of seeing horse after horse die here.
While others offer their support.
I love the racetrack, and I don't want it to go down.
For those who work in the backstretch, one death is too many.
The people here love the horses as much as they love their own families.
Horses dying at racetracks is not uncommon. According to the California Racing Board, Santa Anita has seen the most deaths in the past 7 years, averaging nearly 55 a year. Throughout the season, nearly 1,800 horses are stabled there, and on any given race day, well over 1,000 are on the track. Stable workers blaming track maintenance and heavy rains for injuries to the horses. Santa Anita has recently instituted a series of safety measures, including a new safety review team to evaluate all horses set to race at the track, and the LA District Attorney has created a task force to investigate those deaths. Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
Checking out the view over downtown Indianapolis for you, and it is dry at this point. We've got some more clouds out there. Sun's trying to make its way through there. Temperatures this afternoon made their way into the lower and middle 80s. Well, after some rain, we've cooled back lower to middle 70s. 73 right now in downtown. Kokomo, though, leading the way at 77 degrees. Storm Team 6 radar, much of central Indiana, pretty quiet out there right now. We go into the eastern third of the state, though. That's where we still find some rain for you around Muncie, Chelsea into Winchester, Portland, and Richmond dealing with some moderate rainfall. That will continue to slide off to the east here. You'll start to dry things out over the next 45 minutes to an hour. And then we've got some showers that linger back through Columbus into Seymour. Kind of the same scenario. You'll get some dry time here within the next hour. But notice we've got some additional showers and downpours in Illinois. Nothing that's severe. And now that our atmosphere has kind of been worked over from the thunderstorms we had earlier this afternoon, not anticipating any additional severe weather. That said, we're going to monitor things for you just the same as we go through the next several hours. Overnight, it stays warm and muggy. Those temperatures not going to fall very much at all. We're at 70 degrees, and those rain chances, we're right back into them tomorrow. In fact, your lunch hour looks like it could be fairly soggy out there, so you're going to need the umbrella. As we check out TrueCast for you, we'll pick things up here as we get to 9:30 tomorrow morning. So the trip to work should be mainly dry. Then as we go through the morning into the early afternoon, there's your lunch hour dealing with some rain. That cloud cover and the showers will keep us a little bit cooler tomorrow. As we get into around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we start to see a few additional thunderstorms. But because of the clouds and rain earlier in the day, I think that limits our severe weather potential. Today, we had a slight risk of severe weather. Tomorrow, it's a marginal or isolated threat across the central Indiana area for primarily some gusty winds. We will have some more unneeded rainfall with it, though. Most areas talking about a quarter to possibly an inch of rain. Get under a couple of those storms, though, you could see about an inch to an inch and a half of wet weather. High temperatures mentioned they're not going to move a whole lot tomorrow because of the clouds and showers. Highs in the mid 70s to around 80 degrees, and then the rain chances begin to diminish and those temperatures take off. Look at this. We'll actually get above the average in the middle 80s, close to 90 a couple of days. Let's check it out. Your 7-day planning forecast now. There are those departing rain chances, about a 30% chance on Wednesday. Otherwise, it's 20% or less. High temperatures will get close to 90 degrees by Thursday afternoon, and we'll stay in the middle to upper 80s right through next weekend. So the heat is on. Summer is officially here.
I like that 7-day a lot better than last week's because we had so much rain last week.
A lot of people are ready to dry things out and feel like summer.
Get some pool days in.
That's
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, coming up on RTV6 News at 6, a warning if you are shopping for a new car online, how scammers are targeting you with fake online listings. Plus, if it's too hot for you, it's too hot for your pets. What you need to watch out for when you're out walking your dog this summer. You're watching RTV6 News at 6. We'll be right back.
The beat goes on. Where to next?
When you get into a routine with your pet, it's easy to overlook how the heat can harm them. With the weather being hotter now, vets are treating more pets for heat stroke and burns. A warning, some people might be sensitive to these images we're about to show you. A Washington Veterinary Hospital posted these pictures of a golden retriever's burned pads. His owner says he walked over a mile on a trail without whining or limping. It can be hard to figure out when a dog is in pain. Vets say if the pavement is too hot for your bare foot, it's too hot for a dog. That includes asphalt, pool decks, outdoor eating patios, any surface that is in direct sunlight that isn't grass or dirt.
You do get these kind of blisters. That's a minor form of burns. They can get blisters that then open up within 24, 48 hours later. But we've actually seen it to where there's severe injury on the paw depending on how far they walked on asphalt.
If your dog is high stepping, walking faster, or pulling toward grass, that could mean their paws are burning. Some companies sell heat protection dog booties that can help if you're outside a lot. Tonight, we have a couple warnings for anyone who's shopping for cars online. The Federal Trade Commission and eBay Motors says people are making fake online car listings. The biggest warning sign, low prices. The FTC says that scammers will chat with you, answer questions, share pictures, even use lingo like buy protection program. The problem is they don't actually own the car and may not have a car at all. Recently, scammers on eBay Motors have went as far as sending fake invoices, but if you look close, the email has all sorts of red flags. The address isn't from eBay, the price is too good to be true, and bad grammar. Phone numbers that don't actually belong to eBay, and mainly they're pushing for payments through PayPal, Western Union, and Walmart gift cards. Experts say people are buying cars online without seeing them in real life and without test driving them. Don't do that. If you're not sure if a vehicle offered is for sale on eBay is legit, you can contact eBay customer service and always forward suspicious emails to them as well. Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 initiative aimed at connecting you with job opportunities and tips to land you with the job you want. Next week, there will be a huge job fair for veterans in the Hoosier State. The Indianapolis Veterans Job Fair is happening Thursday, June 27th at Lucas Oil Stadium from 11 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Many companies from different industries will be there looking to interview you and potentially make hires. To register for the job fair and learn more about what you can expect, we do have a link right now on hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back with a final check of the forecast.
Eastern portions of central Indiana, you're getting rid of the rain now in the Richmond and Connorsville area. But yes, we are going to be tracking another batch of some showers, not expecting that to be severe.
Thanks, Kyle. We'll see you back here at 11. Thanks for joining us.